Emotional roller coaster ride. Okay, I got a lot going on.
A Fargo man is fed up, confused, and worried about his future. He's just one of the many people living in a mobile home park in the Fargo, West Fargo area that has been bought out by a new company. And with its new ownership comes some major changes like a hike in rent, and residents now have to pay for their own utilities. Tonight we talked with this man who tells us if something doesn't change, he could end up on the streets.
I don't need this. I really don't.
Scott Lanning has a lot of questions. He's lived at Countryside Estates for a decade now. In fact, he moved here to be closer to medical care, but that could all be changing soon.
I'm supposed to have a hip surgery the 8th of November. I'm going to have to cancel it. I can't afford to live there.
He's just one of the dozens of residents who are very worried about their homes and where they're going to live. Lanning tells us he can't afford any other place in town and doesn't know what to do next.
I'm disabled. I can't move all my stuff.
On top of that, his dog is one of the breeds on the list that has to go because the new lease deems them dangerous. But he says it's much more than just a dog.
That's my life right there you're messing with. That dog is my life, literally.
So what can people do?
I can't say that I know everything, but I have been around the block.
Breezy Schmidt is an attorney with legal services for North Dakota. And she tells us these tenants are stuck between a rock and a hard place. But she says what the new ownership Haven Park is doing isn't against the law.
A landlord can increase the rent to whatever amount. There are no rent caps in North Dakota on private housing, and a landlord can come in and change the rules. They can institute new lease agreements.
Schmidt has seen cases similar to this before, and she tells us generally speaking, companies try to weed out tenants so they can build new homes. But something Schmidt tells us tenants can do is band together and go to lawmakers.
I mean, they're really under the gun.
In Fargo, State Representative Andrew Marshall says he's already heard from a lot of people in these communities. Part of his legislative district covers the Brookwood Mobile Home Park. In fact, he's heard from so many people that he's been working on some bills to even out the playing field when it comes to tenant and landlord rights.
You're going to evict somebody who owns their trailer. You don't give them just, okay, 3 days and get your trailer out of here.
And he plans on bringing those up again during the next session, but that's a long time away. As for Lanning, he says his options are very slim and his hands are tied.
I'm going to get an RV. I'm going to be on the street. I've checked apartments. I can't afford them. I'm done.
We talked with the spokesperson at the North Dakota Attorney General Office, Liz Brocker. She told us they don't deal with this kind of thing, despite the fact attorneys generals in other states are. Also, an official with the new ownership tells us their intention is to not weed out the parks in order to build new homes. This story first came